Hello and welcome. This is the newspaper review on TAV TV, where we analyze and dissect trending and catchy headlines every day. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today. And with me today on this program is no other person than Ekong Bright.
Nice to meet you,
I've been
bro.
wanting to have him on this show to know what he has to say, because I've seen his different analysis on different angles. I know he's really doing well on that angle. I saw you, the brother station of TAV TV, the football, Intel, and all that.
Yeah.
And I see how you do justices to those headlines and all that.
Yeah, it's good when you have a background intel on anything that you want to do. Like I said, you have more knowledge to dish out, so you have to do more research, and every stories you want to talk about, you have to make your sources correct, giving you facts and basis. So that's one thing I know I'm good at, getting my sources right and giving it out to the people what they want to hear, what they want
Exactly how they want to hear it.
Definitely. And most times it's good for people to listen to your opinion and try to balance it with what they think. That will give them a background on how to build on in the next upcoming days.
Wow, that's wonderful. All right, without wasting much of our time, we'll move on to the first newspaper of the day, This Day. The first headline here reads, Assets Theft. Shell pulls out IOC accord with NCDMB NNPC. Demands more waivers. The main headline here reads, Appeal Court nullifies Mutfwang's election, declares Nentawe winner. Says it's temporary setback, says Plateau governor. We saw this coming, warned against it, PDP declares. The bottom story here reads, NNPC pledges to deliver value to stakeholders, bags innovative company award. All right, Mr. Bright, I would like your thoughts on this headline that reads, Appeal Court nullifies Mutfwang's election, declares, and knowing that PDP says they saw it coming and they warned against it.
You know, prior to this happening, we saw the case. It was taken to the tribunal.
The Appeal Court?
No, it was taken to the tribunal. After the election, it was taken to the election tribunal. That is the March 2003 election, that the governorship election in Plateau. But what we are seeing now, what Nigerians are seeing now is, I think what they would have wanted to see
in the presidential aspect.
In the presidential aspect, what they hoped for would happen in the presidential aspect. But beyond that, there were a little glitches coming into this particular election from the verdict that was given in the court, saying that prior to the election, PDP was given an order by the court to hold a congress to appoint who was supposed to represent them in the election, which they did not hold. So as such, their governorship candidate was not eligible for that very election.
To contest.
Yeah, to contest for the election. Now, coming into this one, it's a good one from the judge.
Okay, you think it's a good one?
Yeah, because now it tends to be on how the rule of law and the constitution is being interpreted. That is one aspect that I think we should look at right now.
Okay, based on the technicalities.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. We should look at the technicalities involved in this particular case. Coming into this case, Nigerians will be like, oh, they tend to interpret the law in the way that favors them and all of that. But for me, I feel like it's a different scenario coming into this one, and the judge giving a good verdict, if that's what I should call it, a good verdict, citing cases that is being brought out from the constitution and prior cases up to this one. Now, what people are saying, or what PDP on the other hand is saying, is that they feel that APC are trying to take over the whole nation,
having
building
strong foundations. Remember, this is one of the criteria that they mocked the Labour Party with.
Yeah.
A party without no stand and all that.
Yeah, but I think that like the governor did, the ex-governor, if that's what I should call him, because the APC, the candidate for the APC that is being declared the winner now has not been issued
the certificate of return.
Yeah, by Inec. And the ex-governor, if that's what I should call him, as I said earlier, said that he is aware of this, in the sense that he is not relenting, even with the judgment of the court. He's not going to relent in what he wishes to give back to the people of Plateau. Now he's saying even without the position of the governor that he's going to give back to his people. I feel that is a big challenge for the incoming governor, knowing that the governor that has been removed from his seat is still promising his
what he
people
ought
that
to do.
He has them at heart.
Thereby making the new one want to do more, supposed to do more. But don't you think, I'm sorry to cut you short, don't you think that's a fallacious word? Like, imagine contesting for something, you having the position, and then you are nullified of it, and you still think the person will still go far as doing what he has promised or what he has stated.
Nigeria, the place we find ourselves currently, we don't tend to believe our leaders coming into power. But at this point, he has nothing to lose. The citizens have nothing to lose. They just have to give him a listening ear. And if he comes out to say he wants to do this, and he ends up doing it, it's a plus for him going into the next election. That is if they don't appeal. Because in Nigeria, after one case, they go for another case. It keeps being a back and forth cases in the court. So after the tribunal, they appeal. So we don't know if there's going to be a counter appeal.
Yeah, because I feel like I see it coming, because he wouldn't just relent and just take the blows and gather his peace and move on, regarding the amount he spent during knowing that it was not his party that sponsored him.
Yeah, even without that, the party are coming out to say that they are giving their candidate the full support. Definitely, whatever the party, I feel like they are going to go back into their house, do an in-house meeting, and maybe come up with something else in the next few days or weeks. We don't know how that is going to pan out, but this is a shocker and to the sitting governor that yes, even after the election, there is a turnover of the law. There is a turnover of who is going to be in power, who is going to hold the seat of the governor of the state,
regardless of who was declared winner
from the onset. So, yeah, maybe this is not what every Nigerians would have wanted to see currently in this case. Like I said in the beginning of my statement, they would have wanted this to pan out in the presidential case. But for me, I feel it's a good one. The congratulations to the new governor coming in. And I feel he has a lot of shoes. I think the governor that just stepped out has created a large space for him a large part for him to work on. And if he doesn't feel that space, next election is going to be kicked out. That is what I feel. Next election is going to be kicked out. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done by the incoming governor. Okay,
a very quick question. Do you feel like he should, the ex-governor, as we are calling him now, do you feel like he should go ahead to the Supreme Court to lay his complaint about this nullification given to him by Inec?
If he has a stronger case, as the evidence that was put forth against him, if he has a stronger case and a stronger evidence to counter the judgment that is being made by the judge of the appeal court, Mr. Freda, if he has a stronger case, then I feel he can appeal to the Supreme Court for a change or an overturn of judgment. But without that,
and there's a very low tendency that the Supreme Court will rule a different verdict from what the appeal court ruled.
And that's what we've been seeing pan out over years and over time coming into this one. Once a lower court gives a verdict, the higher court would still uphold that verdict, trying to give the court system or the judicial system that precedence and that authenticity that we lack, or I wouldn't say we lack, but Nigerians are clamoring for that authenticity, that transparency, that feeling that yes, we can trust the judicial process. So they are trying to cover up their lapses. Yeah, okay, even if it's a wrong verdict, they try to cover up and say yes, the lower court are doing what is right. But coming from the tribunal up onto this one, I think is a good overturn for the APC and getting into power.
Exactly. A very last one before we move away from this story. Do you, on your own opinion, let's say, okay, you are representing the view of majority of Nigerians, especially from people from that region, that state. Do you think that what the INEC declared, considering the fact of how the INEC has been for the past few months. Let's say we've seen them, like we've assumed them to be compromised. Do you think that what they did was proper?
Well, coming into this election, from the presidential election down to the governorship election in March, and to the recent election in Kogi State, Bayelsa State, Imo State, Nigerians are feeling that INEC is compromised already, because they didn't give us what we wanted. People came out in mass
Exactly.
in the presidential election, and what turned out to be our year of hope was crushed by INEC. So we wouldn't know if this was a job played by INEC to give a kind of credibility on their own side, knowing fully well that, Nigerians are saying we are not doing well. But on the other hand, we tend to see that this is still showing the incapability of INEC to fulfill their role
As they ought to, as an independent body.
As an independent body, knowing fully well that they are the ones to usher in like a candidate from each of these parties, and there are rules and regulations for them to follow. So if this person is not meeting up to the laid down criteria, why would they be imputed in the system as
from the onset?
Yeah, as part of this election. So for me, I feel it's a lagging from INEC, not upholding to what they should.
Exactly, because from the beginning of the registration, they are supposed to do these screenings, know if this person meets the minimum requirements and all of that.
Yes. So it's for me it's they don't meet up to standards currently. If I should scrutinize INEC in this previous election, I'll give them below 50 par.
Below 50 par.
Yeah.
All right, that's very nice. Let's move away from that story and go on to the next paper for the day. We'll be looking at the Daily Sun. The headline reads, "New terror gang. 30 million boys spread fear in Asaba." You remember these 30 million boys some time ago in Lagos, where they did more harm than good.
That one is in Lagos. It was called
Okay, 1 million boys. Okay, they still maintain the million name tag.
And they changed it. It became something else here in this region.
All right, still on the headline, it reads, "Tinubu dragged to court over INEC appointment." Bottom story under that reads, "Budget Serap. 34 CSOs accuse president of naming loyal APC members as rec. Asks court to set aside appointment." Details of the story is found on page 6 of the Daily Sun. PDP, Plateau governor head to Supreme Court as appeal court nullifies election. Bottom story says, APC rep hail judgment, protest in Jos, police warns troublemaker. You look up on the page 27 of the Daily Sun newspaper. "We are unaware of Supreme Court justices nomination," said NJC. Inaugurates 58 new sands November 27. Details of the story is found on page 6 of the Daily Sun newspaper. I would like your thoughts on this headline that reads, "Tinubu dragged to court over INEC appointment." Remember, we were just talking about the INEC body just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, before I even delve into that, we could see on this same Daily Sun newspaper the PDP Plateau taking the appeal judgment to the Supreme Court, what we just discussed a few minutes ago. So it's a new development is going to keep panning out as the days come by. We're going to hear new things coming out, new cases coming out, new appeal upon appeal. And yes, like we know in Nigeria, the Supreme Court has the final verdict, and once they give judgment, we don't know what might happen. Maybe the appeal court judgment might be overturned, or at the end of the day, they might still hold it as what it is. Now, going to the Tinubu case, now, Nigerians, Serap, a body in Nigeria, is taking Tinubu to court, and also the head of the
budget
National Assembly, that's the Senate, the upper chamber of the National Assembly, that's the Senate, to court for appointing people that are politically affiliated into INEC. Now, INEC, as we know, is an independent body that shouldn't be
a political body.
INEC shouldn't be in any way affiliated.
Since you cannot be a judge over your own case.
Yeah. So they shouldn't be in any way affiliated to any political party. every member of INEC should be non-partisan. You shouldn't be a member of any party. Your family shouldn't be affiliated to any political party. You shouldn't be seen with any political leader. You shouldn't attend any political meetings.
Just be neutral.
Yeah, you should. This is a neutral body because it tends to show your credibility, authenticity, and transparency. Now, if you are being seen or affiliated to this political party, they should, even if you are not compromising, but that in general is a compromise on its own. Nigerians
Exactly.
are going to read meaning to it. The law in the constitution states that INEC, as a neutral body of the federation, should not be in any way affiliated to any political party. No members should be affiliated to any political party. Now, the REC, as has been stated earlier, that's resident electoral commissioners for each state, and the state that we mentioned, I think in Lagos, Akwa Ibom, and 2 other states, those people that were appointed by the president to be RECs and was they were confirmed by the upper chambers of the National Assembly. These persons are alleged to be like in front of the law. If you're not proven guilty, you're not guilty. So they are alleged to be members of a political party, of APC. That's the party in particular, APC. And that is one thing that other political parties are looking at, saying that this doesn't show credibility.
Especially as it entails the ruling party.
Yeah, that it doesn't show credibility, and they see it as a medium for APC to take over other states. And yes, Rivers also is also part of this state that the REC is seen or alleged to be a member of APC. Now, this is not done. This is not supposed to be. This is not what Nigerians should see in the media. This is not what should even be shown in the media. For me, I feel this is a slap to INEC, knowing fully well that somebody that is being appointed by the president is a member of a political party to oversee the affairs of INEC in a particular state. This should not happen. This should not be accepted by Nigerians. This should not be accepted by INEC. So there should be a look over it. Now, what SERAP and these other bodies are clamoring for is that these said persons should be, the appointment should be taken back, withheld, null, void. These persons shouldn't be the REC of INEC in this state. That is what SERAP is clamoring for at this point in time. And if that is not done, if we go into further findings of this particular case, it's going to be surprising to find out that if there's anyone in particular, it's going to be the one from Akwa Ibom and Rivers State. Those persons, we are part of APC.
Exactly.
They have been seen in regalias of APC.
Regalias.
Yeah, so what are we saying at this point? Are they trying to make a fool out of Nigerians? Are they trying to tell us that the system in general is compromised? So this is not what Nigerians are wanting or are willing to see at this point in time. So I appeal to the court, to Nigerians out there, to SERAP to stand strong, hold firm, and we pray at some point there should be a change, and these persons should be called back from being the REC of.
But sorry to cut you short. Let's deviate a little bit. I was thinking, if these persons, these RECs that were appointed, if they were from other parties, would this have been the same way? If, let's say, 2 persons were from PDP and 2 persons were from the Labour Party, do you think it would still cut and turn out this way?
Yeah, it's not about if they were from other
Remember
parties.
the kind of country we are in.
Let's leave. I understand where the angle you're coming from. If these other parties will feel like, oh, they are being involved in the government, but this would be a kind of compromise in place of INEC, knowing fully well that members or people that are being put in place to oversee their daily activities in each state are affiliated to a particular political party. In other words, you're trying to say that, yes, if, for example, let's say somebody from Labour Party is being put as a REC of INEC in a particular state, let's say in those states, would you tell me that other parties are going to win elections in that state?
Exactly, they are not supposed to.
He's going to make sure that at giving all his best
to make sure his party wins.
His party wins the election in a particular state. So I don't see that as something that is good. For me, it's wrong. See, if this is made to happen, if this is made to happen, it's going to bring,
It will continue happening.
yeah, it's going to bring more compromise, further compromise on the body of INEC, which will make people not see. Nigeria are already in disbelief. Nigeria are not even trusting the process of INEC. So if this is made to fall through, then I don't think coming years and further elections, people will be interested on whatever judgment or whatever procedures of elections that INEC is going to bring on the basis and say, okay, this is what we want to do in the elections in the state. People will look at it and be like, oh, this person is from APC, this person is from
So no need.
this person is from, so definitely whoever is coming in as the governor of that state, whoever is coming in as the chairman of a particular local government in that particular state is going to be somebody from this political party, and that is not what we need in Nigeria. We are clamoring for an independent state where a democracy system whereby we the people are the ones to pick our government, even though
How we want it, why we want
whoever
it.
we choose to lead us, to get us to that place, that promised land that we are not seeing at the moment. But it should be our decision. Let it be like, yes, we come out in one voice, in one heart, and say, yes, this is who we want. This is what we want. This is the person that we want to take us to that particular point that we feel would give us a better Nigeria.
And on a transparent platform.
On a transparent platform, yeah. Because if INEC is not compromised, whatever result that is coming out, people will say that, yes, this is how the election panned out, and we accept the result. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do.
We accept the, if it's a neutral body, if INEC is neutral, as they should be neutral, whatever result that they bring out to Nigeria,
would have no reason to doubt.
Would have no reasons to doubt. Definitely, you should. It's not a must that you should support the political party that I'm supporting. It's
Exactly.
not a must that whoever our viewers out there are supporting the same political parties that we are supporting. So if out of different political parties that are involved, that are present in the state, let's say 40% vote a particular party and they come out victorious in the state or in the federal election, we will say yes, it's been transparent. The number of people supporting this political party, you are not more than this one. So whoever had the largest number won the
Wins.
election. So Nigerians will be like, oh yes, my party did not win, but for a fact, we knew that the process was not compromised. It was transparent, it was authentic, and it was credible. So that is what Nigerians are looking for. And if you are bringing people that are affiliated into one of two political parties to be part of the system that would make it credible, then definitely it's not going to be credible.
Exactly. All right, we'll go for a very short break. When we come back, we'll look onto our last paper for the day. So stay tuned.
Children's Studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, welcome back from that very quick break. And I must commend you for staying up to this time. Thank you very much. All right, without wasting much of our time, let's look into the last paper for the day. And this time we'll be looking at the leadership newspaper. The headline here reads, Supreme Court Judicial Council awaits list of nominees. Details is found on page 7 of the leadership newspaper. Israel-Hamas war rages as outcry grows over Gaza crisis. Details is found on page 17. This Israel-Hamas war is still lingering around, and it seems like aside the killings that are being done, the loss of lives, everybody is just tired of this same headline, this same topic every day.
It has been a continuous thing, but we shouldn't also forget the war between Ukraine and Russia.
Exactly.
It's still lingering.
Still
People are
ongoing,
not-
and
people are not-
it's not making the front pages of the papers anymore.
Yeah, because there's another one in front, and if we don't pray for it, but if there's
But we
another
see it
war,
coming.
if there's another war coming up again, it's going to overshadow this
Replace
other
this one, and this one will go on the ground.
And funny enough, the killings in Hamas and by the Israelis, it's not a good scene for us to see, and we feel like it's been politicized
Exactly.
on an international scale. So we don't know what the next days or months or years is going to look like. But I just feel or plead that there should be a resolution, because the numbers of lives and children, families, mothers that are being killed in this conflict it's terrible.
Exactly.
And disheartening.
Exactly. Media souls rest well. All right, still on the papers. It reads, cost of renewable energy may hamper Nigeria's targets. Details is found also on page 7 of the leadership newspaper. Protest rocks plateau as appeal court sacks Governor Muftang. Details is found on page 7 also of the leadership newspaper. 25 years after, federal government may restore controversial Malabu oil well. Details is found on page 4. Nigeria, 26 others adopt HPV vaccines against cervical cancer. If you want to know more of the story, look up on page 4 of the leadership newspaper. APC wants to make Nigeria one-party state, says NPP. If every party, every ruling party would want to do so, at least for them to continue the process. You know how sweet power is.
There's a saying that power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Correct.
And beyond that, we're not saying the government is corrupt, but there are signs. They say action also speaks louder than words. Now, other parties are complaining, and the funny thing about all of this is that the major party that is complaining about this is PDP.
Exactly.
And it's super funny because
they were on this.
Yeah.
They are like a brother to the APC.
Yeah, they have tested power, and they know how it feels like. There was a time they were like taking almost all over the states in Nigeria. If Nigeria like 36 states, the PDP were taking over 20-something states in terms of governorship, ruling, and in the federal affairs.
Even in the House of Reps.
They are heading. So at this point, it feels like their relevance is no more there. They're not getting that relevant spot in the government of the day. And they feel threatened that APC are coming into power now, and they are seizing vital positions, not only in the federal.
They're having a strong stand.
They're building, like, they're having a strong stamp in the nation, making sure that every state they are having vital position. If it's not in the state house of rep, it's the governorship position, and major positions coming out of each state, even to the federal level. And if care is not taken, it wouldn't be surprising if the next election we hear that APC are taking over all the states, the governorship post, and
it still might not be possible.
It might not be possible, but we the same thing I always say. We pray Nigerians, even though what we're expecting from Inec and the government of the day is not what we want or what we think should be, even though we are not having that trust in the process anymore. But let's come out in one voice, just as we did in the last election. Let's come out in one voice, in one heart, and give your vote to whoever you feel is good to take you to that place, to that promised land that you think that you want to go to. Whoever that you feel is capable, that has what it takes to serve Nigeria and give us that profitable that standpoint to compete and compare ourselves with other top countries in the world. Come out and vote for that person, because if you say you have given up on Nigeria and you want to stay in your house,
it's not possible.
People will come out and still vote who they think would rule, and
it will be on your loss because you were aware and you decided not to come. You
will still suffer.
If you don't come out and vote, how then would you beat your chest and get angry if the thing turns out wrongly?
Yeah, because whether you like it or yes, whether you come out to vote or you decide to stay in your house,
there must be a winner.
There must be a winner. And if the number of people that comes out to vote who they think is the right person, and the country is being put in chaos and suffering like we are today, everybody's part and parcel of it. We are all suffering it.
Exactly. Those persons that didn't come out for the elections, most of them cannot come out and beat their chest and brag about the government being bad, because they know they are part of it.
Yeah.
They are part of the cause.
Because your vote would have changed everything.
Exactly.
We don't know for that.
I'm still on the leadership newspaper. This headline draws my attention. Police chief orders overage officers to retire.
Now this is one interesting story that I looked at and I was like, we complain in Nigeria the youths are not having jobs. Yeah. And now in all government parastatals, there has been a law in the constitution that if you serve for 35 years or you are above the age of 60, you are meant to retire. And there have been applications of people that are in the police, they almost cut across all federal positions, government parastatals. At the age of 60, they are still go to the council. You'll be shocked.
Exactly.
Go to this we have the local government council here. Go there and see people over the age of 60. They are still working. They are still in the government offices
with their weak bones, struggling, coming to work every day.
So how do you expect those persons to be productive?
Exactly.
How do you expect this person to be productive? Now we see people that have served for over 35 years, they are still in office because they don't have nothing to fall back on. This person that are 60,
and they are not sure if the pensions would be paid to them.
No, that is actually where I'm driving at, because now the IGP is coming out to say, oh, retire these people, they are over the age of 60, they have served for 35 years. If you retire them,
what next?
What next? How sure are these people that they are going to get their pension, what they work for? Because we see over the years, people are crying, people that have worked over, that have served their country over the years, and they are not being paid their pensions. So imagine me being in office, and I see every day people that I've worked with that are over me in ranks over the years and have retired, and I see them every day coming out to clamor for, oh, my pensions have not been paid over 5 to 6 years, and you expect me that is in office
to leave my seat
where I get my monthly salary, not being sure of my pension coming in. What am I going to feed on? What are my family going to feed on? What are my children going to? What are my relatives going to feed on? Because in Nigeria, this is the country where we find that somebody working in an office is scattering for scattered families over the place.
Exactly.
Cousins, relatives that he doesn't, not like he doesn't even know, but there are so many people looking up to him for help in terms of finances. So if you tell him to retire from his work,
you are indirectly retiring a lot of people.
Yeah. So what does he fall back on? What is he going to fall back? Yes, we know it's a good scheme, but what is the follow through? The follow through that you're keeping. Are you following? Are you going ahead with it? Are you giving these people their pension? Are you giving them something to fall back on? Are you giving them something to lean on after work? It's more like I remember when my dad retired from the Nigerian Port Authority after serving for 35 years. I was with him, and the old pension scheme, glory be to God, it worked for him. But what about others out there?
Especially seeing how the economy of the country is at this moment.
We find our teachers, principals,
doctors,
many of them, after giving all their all, giving everything to their country, and they're not being paid pension. How do you expect these people to survive? And you find them every month or 2-3 months, they block up the street and they cry that they have not been paid their pension for years. And you're telling somebody in office that is not sure of
how the retirement benefits would be.
Is going to come in to retire. Well, we just hope there is a way they can combat this and make for a better
Exactly. Since they come out, they should complete what they started.
Yeah.
If you know you want to retire these people, make provisions for them so that they don't come out blank and stay empty.
Yeah, that is what I feel, that not just the Nigerian police,
every
parastatal under the federal government, state government, and beyond that. So yes, it's a good call by the IGP, but what have they put in place to cater for the benefits of these people, the needs of these people
when they retire,
after retiring them? That is what they should look at, not just telling them to retire.
Exactly. All right, I'm afraid this is where we come to the end of the program for today. Thank you for staying up to this time. All right, you too can also be a part of this show. Do well to like our videos, drop your comments in the comment section. Of course, we want to know your reactions and what you have to say. Do well to follow us across all our social media platforms. Do well to subscribe and turn on the notification button. All right, thank you, Mr. Bright, for this wonderful time. It's been a wonderful time with you, and I hope we'll do this some other time again.
Definitely. Yeah. It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
Okay, I am Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review on TAV TV.